Hello, Soul Tribe. How is everyone doing? I hope you guys are all doing well and getting ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow. I cannot believe that Thanksgiving is tomorrow. It's crazy. This came so damn fast. I didn't even realize it was Thanksgiving this week. Someone mentioned it to me over the weekend, and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't even started getting any of the dinner food for Thanksgiving. So I had to go shopping on Sunday to get everything. It's just, everything is happening so damn fast. I can't keep up anymore. I'm forgetting. It's like, I feel like the energy has been so accelerated and things are just moving so quickly. And then we have December next week, starting next week. Wow, the year is coming to an end very quickly. But it's definitely been a challenging year, hasn't it? It's been a lot of revelations for people, a lot of emotional roller coasters for a lot of people. All for a reason, though. It's something that we needed to go through to get to this place of clearing old ways of being and doing, as I always say. And this year, I feel like even as opposed to the last few years, this year alone has been the most challenging. And I find for many, including myself, it's the universe is really wanting us to clear up old stuff and old ancestral patterns and behaviors. You know, it's kind of like it stops with us. Those patterns of behavior are supposed to stop with us so that we don't continue to carry it down to our children and their children. So the ones who are choosing to be the ones to stop all of that, all those patterns from repeating themselves are being challenged the most because we're ready to heal our ancestral line, our family line, all of the unhealed trauma that family members and ancestors, past lives, were never healed. So I feel like we were challenged this year more than anything with that challenge of healing and ending those old patterns, and also for us to release an old version of who we thought we were. And that's why so many people have had such a hard time with this, because, you know, we've been this for all these years, you know, who we thought we were. And now we're being presented with these obstacles and these challenges that we needed to look at within ourselves that needed to be changed. And some people would look at them and other people choose not to look at them. And when we resist it, it just becomes more challenging for us. So I don't want to get so serious in this video, because I want to start it off with in a light energy. And, you know, so the hummingbird does represent learning to enjoy the journey, you know, to tasting the nectar of life and not looking at it as such a challenge, and knowing that the journey is about us learning about ourselves, understanding, being aware, becoming who we are meant to truly be, our authentic selves. And this year alone, as I mentioned before, has been the most challenging for many of us. The eclipse alone, that really messed with a lot of people, including myself. It just brought up old things that I thought that I had overcome and had overcome to a certain extent. And as I always say, there was always layers. There's always layers to experiences that we go through in our lives, emotions that are connected to those experiences. So even though we may feel like we have healed one aspect of that experience emotionally, there are still so many more layers to get to the core. You know, the core where we finally understand why things happened the way they did, why we went through what we went through, where it all came from. You know, when we get to that total understanding, we go through those layers. That's when we can finally get to the end of that experience of healing it, right? And a lot of times it's just carried down from generations to generations, past life, unhealed trauma that we've never healed, that just keeps getting repeated. And, you know, we make the choice to learn whatever those lessons are, even if we are not consciously aware that that is what we're doing or what we signed up to do. That is exactly what we are doing. So even though life has been challenging for many and we've been presented with so much, so many obstacles that were placed in our path, that was all there for a reason, right? It's for us to get to this place of remembering who we truly are, you know, the authentic self, who we truly are, not what we let ourselves be defined by. But I didn't want to get all serious because I wanted to do this video, stop by and do this video in a light energy because I feel really light today. I just feel like a higher vibrational energy has finally come in. Thank God. Because it's been rough. The last few days have been pretty rough with being challenged with some obstacles, as many have been, and even a lot of clients coming in, going through it. Like, we're going through it in the collective. We're going through it. It's like our lives are being thrown in chaos, right? But with the chaos will come the peace. We just have to get to that place of letting go and not letting that stuff that's coming up continue to control us or define us. It's really this time around about coming up to the surface to deal with those emotions, those layers that we still have not healed. You know, and again, a lot of it is ancestral. A lot of it is past life, unhealed trauma that we're being presented with. But we have to get to a place of clearing it, because we're not supposed to take it into the new cycle, right? The new, our authentic self, becoming our authentic self. We're not supposed to take the old version of who we thought we were into this new cycle. So we're going to be presented with these things. And although our lives feel like they're chaotic right now, we're going through some deep struggles and things that we thought we have overcome. I promise it will pass if you allow it to pass. If you allow yourself to trust that is just a process that you need to go through to get to the next level, to move to the next level, to create the life that you are meant to have. It's very important for us to get to that place of understanding and awareness, as hard and as difficult and as challenging as it is for us. We have to see it for what it truly is. Everything now being presented to us is about perception, about truth, about authenticity. And in order to get to that place, we have to be presented with this stuff so that we can really look at it, especially as of recent with this eclipse. So we can look at it and say, wow, we've really come so far in life. We're stronger than we really think that we are. We're here. We made it to this place that we are right now. You know, all those challenges that we went through in our lifetime, we still lived. We still survived. We're still here. And those experiences and struggles and obstacles are supposed to make us stronger, supposed to make us see, you know, that we're more powerful than we think. It's just the struggle and the challenge is trusting and allowing and understanding that we have to get to a place of saying, I understand. I know why I'm going through this. I accept it. I'll allow myself to go through it. I know better days are coming, and just being open to it, right? If we get stuck in the energy of, oh no, again, poor me, and put ourselves back in that victim mentality, it's going to be harder and more difficult to overcome. And then what will happen is it'll show up again over and over and over. right? So it is important for us to see what is coming up. And even if we have that temporary, as what I went through, I'm human, temporary moment of, oh no, not again. Why do I continuously why am I continuously being challenged with the same stuff, the same struggles? Because it goes deeper. It's not from this lifetime. It's from other lifetimes too. And I had to come to that understanding of saying, okay, I understand. I'm being presented with this because it is clearing. I'm going through a process of clearing, and so many of us are. We have to go through the chaos to get to the peace, but you have to allow yourself to go through it and not bring yourself back down into the lower vibrational energy that has been keeping us stuck all along, right? So when we can see it for what it truly is, it'll be easier for us to release it and understand and then trust and be open to receiving what it is that we are meant to receive by overcoming that obstacle that's being placed there, overcoming the challenges that are being placed there, presented to us. The eclipse really brought up a lot of stuff for people. It really has, collectively. All of us have gone through something. And the ones who are awakening and are becoming more aware are going to see it more for what it truly is and why it's happening to us. I mean, there's still people who are asleep, as I call them, but that's okay because they'll awaken when it's time for them to awaken. So they may not even understand why these things are being presented and why they're being challenged with the same struggles again. But the ones who are doing the work, the ones who are aware and awakened, even though they may have a temporary moment of paralysis analysis, is that what it's called? Paralysis analysis, where we overthink and when we put ourselves in that victim mentality of, oh no, poor me, why? You know, it won't last long, especially if you've been doing the work and they understand. You'll get that like aha moment, like, oh wow, okay. Like what happened with me. Okay, now I understand. And it's okay. And I have to be open. I have to let go of the fear because the fear is what keeps us stuck, right? When you look back, you can see all the things that you did overcome in your life and that you've made it to this place right now. And even though you may be presented with these challenges still from time to time, just know and realize that you overcame a lot of other obstacles and it just made you stronger. And even if certain struggles and challenges and experiences repeated themselves over and over in our lives, it repeated itself because it needs to come up to the surface so we can acknowledge it. It's not that we are being punished, because we're not. We're just being shown the shadow parts of ourselves that we have suppressed or repressed, and we will get triggered consistently and over until we actually see what that trigger really is representing in us. All right, so just take notice of all of that stuff. And again, I don't want this to to be a serious video. I wanted to just spread some joy and peace and happiness, and really, most importantly, showing gratitude, not being that victim or feeling like everything is going wrong. Yeah, it's going wrong for a reason, so we can go right. But you have to be the one to see why it's going wrong. What is it that needs to be changed that you still are not changing? What do you need to do to make those changes? And it will keep getting shown to you until you finally recognize it and identify what it is that the universe is trying to show you. It'll be shown in situations, in your surroundings, in relationships, in triggers that you will be presented with over and over and over until you get to that place of saying, okay, I understand. And I'm willing and open and ready to let go of all of this stuff that I've been carrying, probably from lifetimes before, from ancestors, from my own experience. and I'm ready to let it go. It's almost as if you have to really tell yourself and speak to yourself in a way where you are giving yourself permission, because sometimes we have to give ourselves permission to release whatever it is that's keeping us blocked, stuck, and repeating patterns, behaviors over and over. And the only time we can get to that place is when we become aware of what it is, right? We have to go through it and become aware of what it is. So we really have to get to that place of saying, okay, I understand where it's coming from now, and I'm ready. I'm just so ready to let it go. And that's where a lot of people are at right now, especially the ones who've been doing the work. It's like, all right, I'm sick of this already. I really want to let it go. But sometimes you have to give yourself permission to release it. I release all of these blocks. I release all of these experiences and things that I've gone through. I no longer wish to allow it to define me. So thank you for showing me and teaching me and allowing me to go through the experience and learning the lessons that were connected to those experiences. Thank you for that. Even as hard as it may have been for us and struggle, and what a struggle it was for us, you have to be able to say, I am ready to let it go. And you have to say to yourself, to your body, thank you, but I am giving you permission to be released now. I give you permission to go now. It no longer needs to stay within. I understand where it's coming from. I've learned the lesson that I needed to learn. And I'm ready to release all blocks that are keeping me stuck in life. I'm ready to let it go. It's okay. You can go, pain. You can go, heartbreak. You can go. It could be any physical things that you're having. It's okay. You can go, So by simply just allowing yourself to release it, to let it go. Anger, it's okay. You can go now. I understand where it's coming from, and I no longer wish to have it control me anymore. So it's okay. You can go. Give yourself permission to release all of those things that are holding you back. But of course, you have to be at a place of understanding why it's even being presented to you. You have to see it for what it truly is. And when you go through this awakening and become aware, you will see it. You will see it. And this is what's being shown to many people right now. But understand, the eclipse was big. It really was showing us those parts that we still need to let go of. Or those parts of us that we're still refusing to make changes with or in. And it'll keep showing itself until you get to that place. So, thank you, but I am ready to release all that is keeping me stuck. I'm ready to let go of it all. I send healing to those parts of me, the unhealed parts of me. I send light to those unhealed parts of me. I send light to my ancestors and helping them heal what's been carried down, that's never been healed. I send light to it all, and I'm ready to release it. I'm ready to release it, and I'm ready to become who I am truly meant to be. So saying that to yourself over and over and over, but you have to feel it. It's just the same thing as manifesting, right? We can manifest anything we want to manifest, but the only way we can manifest is if we truly believe that we deserve it, right? So it's the same thing with releasing the pain and the suffering and the struggles and experiences that we've gone through, even the things that we're unconsciously or unaware of, consciously, unconsciously unaware of. From, again, past lives, things that we're not really aware of. We have to just simply say, I release it. I'm ready to let it go. Ready to let it go. I give myself permission to release it. And I send light to those parts of me. And everything will be fine. Send love and light to your inner child, that's suffering. So it may seem like we're being punished, but we're not. We really are not. We're just being shown And the light is being shown and shined on those parts of us that we refuse to look at. They have to come up. This is the time for them to come up. And if we continue to keep pushing them down and suppressing them, it's just going to come up again and again and again and again. It's kind of like Groundhog Day, right? Repeats itself over and over and over. And that's how I felt the other day when I was presented with a challenge that I thought that I had overcome. But then when I finally, understood and seen what it was, where it was coming from, I understood and I let it go, and I'm in a place of peace with it now and just allowing it to just do what it needs to do. But it did. It felt like Groundhog Day. And I have to tell you, and I'm a light worker, but there was a moment there where that chaos, that struggle came back up again, and it hurt like hell. And I really started questioning myself, questioning the universe, questioning the work that I do. And, but it was all shown to me and clear to me. I'm right where I'm supposed to be, just as many of us are. Many of you are. We're right where we're supposed to be, even if it feels like we're being pulled right back again to an old way. Yes, we are being pulled back, but I guarantee you, unless you resist it, you're going to overcome it quicker than you would have in the past, whatever that challenge, whatever that obstacle was. So thank you, universe, for showing me the truth and allowing me to get back to a place of trusting and allowing again, which most of you will get to as well. When it's time, you'll know it. You'll know it. Right, so I just wanted to pull a card. And actually, I did pull a card that came up, and it kind of goes with what we're going through. And connected to the hummingbird that came through the other day, representing a cycle, right? And a cycle that we're going through and a journey. The hummingbird represents the journey, flying backwards. We're going back to parts of our life and even past lives that are unhealed, that are showing themselves again. We're going to go through the going back. We're going to take 2 steps forward, and then we're going to get pulled back again, and then we're going to go up and down. It's kind of like a roller coaster ride, right? Emotional roller coaster ride. But it's all happening because we need to release the remnants, the old, all of these stuff that we're still holding on to, that we haven't completely healed, that's trying to come up to the surface, recognizing, understanding, noticing, identifying the triggers as they're shown to us. Why they're being shown to us. Why are we angry? Why is that person saying this and then I'm all of a sudden angry? What is that reminding you of? Where is that taking you back? And I'm going to tell you, the ones who have really been doing the work, who are more awakened and more aware, and there's many of us out there, you're going to recognize that and you're going to see where it really came from. And that's going to shift the energy for you moving forward. So the card that popped up was Inward Revolution. Inward Revolution. I'm clearing some throat chakras there. Inward Revolution. So, and I feel like it's just representing the ups and downs and the chaos and all of the obstacles and all the challenges that we've been presented in, especially as of late. The inward battle, the emotional battle that we have with ourselves, that we try not to show to the world by wearing a brave face, but inside we're struggling, right? Those are the parts of us that we really have to acknowledge. We really need to acknowledge that it's okay for us to be vulnerable. It's okay. We don't always have to be strong. We have to allow ourselves to go through whatever it is being presented for us, because it is part of our evolution, and we need to allow it to do what it needs to do. Notice the fears when they come up and the anxieties that come up. It's all old stuff or old ways that you've learned how to deal with whatever you went through in your life. We create a lot of that by our experiences. But I think when we can get to a place of understanding where it came from, we can release that fear and anxiety, but only we can do it ourselves. So I'm going to read Inward Revolution. You are always moving forward, even when you feel like you are going backwards, just like many of us have been presented with as of late. Your path may seem to go up and down or inward and outward. The spiral is a symbol of your soul journey. It represents the cyclical I probably said that wrong, adventure into your heart center. Heart center is our home. This is who we are here. And this is where we need to bring back our energy into heart center. You will continually revisit aspects of your life. Yeah, I didn't even read this. So it's validating and confirming everything that I've been channeled to talk to you about. You will continually revisit aspects of your life to bring you to deeper understanding. Difficulties and challenges can command a greater focus as they help to build bigger and better dreams and desires. Each cycle of life is an important stepping stone that expands into the next. Absolutely every one of those experiences and things that we're challenged and presented with is to help us move forward, to evolve, to go into the next cycle. And then the cycle, the new cycle, is supposed to be the cycle where we are our authentic selves now. Not who we thought we were, but who we truly are. Difficulties and challenges can command a greater focus as they help to build bigger and better dreams and desires. Each cycle of life is an important stepping stone that expands into the next. Your life will only feel authentic when you come to your own conclusions. An inward revolution will open you to the wisdom of your soul. It is a path we must all take to truly know and love ourselves. From this place, we move outward, back into the world, empowered with our soul's wisdom. You are worthy of all you desire, no matter where you are in your spiral. It's pretty powerful and pretty much sums up what we've been going through and giving you an explanation of why we go through these ups and downs and backwards and forwards and just this like emotional roller coaster. It is, and we will revisit or be presented with those parts of ourselves and those experiences and those unhealed moments, emotions that we've suppressed in time, and we do need to deal with them at some point. So they will be shoved at us, especially in times like the eclipse and the full moon, and when there's energy shifts and when there's portals. And it's a lot, isn't it? But again, it's to propel you forward, to move you forward, to let you look at those parts of you that you are choosing not to look at. So some people will be forced to look at those parts of themselves, the shadow aspects, so that you can see the truth of what is going on, and understand that it's where you're at, what it is that you truly desire. If it's change, which is so important right now, we need to allow ourselves to go through it without fearing it, to understand that we create the fear ourselves through experiences or things that we've seen in our lives that from other people in our lives that created that fear as well. Because sometimes it's a learned behavior. Sometimes if we're around very fearful people, we may take on those attributes of fear. Maybe you grow up in a family where, death was always feared. And so that's instilled in us. So we're fearful of death and anything that comes up, that illness or something that makes us feel like we're going to die. I don't mean to laugh, sorry. It really comes from a place of what we've been instilled with, that that it's to be afraid of death, right? To be afraid of death, to be afraid to move on, to be afraid to go into a new relationship or leave an old relationship that doesn't fulfill us. The fear of being alone. So maybe we stay stuck there because it's just easier to be somewhere that we're used to, even if we're not happy there, because of the fear of what if I go out there and I'm all by myself. I'm going to tell you this journey, and from what I'm learning in my own experiences in life, you have to be okay with who you are. You have to be okay with being alone. You have to be able to get through things and understand that you're good, that you have to be good with you. You have to be good with yourself in order to get through and walk into the next step. I'm sorry, my third eye is going crazy right now. So it's like there's a message that's coming through, but it's all over the place. But actually, what I'm trying to say is, in this journey, we do have to be okay with who we are. We have to accept ourselves and be okay with being alone and not feeling that. And I'm not saying you have to be alone for the rest of your life. No, I'm not saying that at all, because we all deserve to be in a loving relationship, to share your life with someone for the rest of your life, to grow old with, to grow with. Absolutely. That is what we're here for. That's love, right? That's love. But I feel like for us to find the kind of love that most people are searching for, our match, that are in alignment at our frequency, you have to be okay with yourself first. You have to love yourself first and be okay with yourself first, every aspect of your life. So that means be okay with being alone. Because it's when we're alone that is when we're going to get the most insight about who we are and what is going on. We may be presented with, shadow parts of ourselves, sadness, and all those things that come up. But it's at that time where we will gain a better understanding of who we truly are in the moments of silence, in the moments of being alone, because there's no distractions to stop us from or block us from really looking at that part of us, right? Because a lot of people, what they'll do is they don't want to be alone. They don't want. And why don't we want to be alone? Because we don't want to look at those things or feel those things that we've been suppressing, or look at those shadow parts of us that we don't like, right? So it's like we consistently have to make sure we're distracting ourselves, or to feel valued, especially after a breakup or something, or worthy or good enough. We jump into another relationship. And what ends up always happening when you do that? If you're unhealed and you jump into another relationship without healing what you need to heal, a lot of times you attract the same back in that relationship. And you will be presented with the same struggles and the same pain and disappointment, because you never allowed yourself to heal from the last relationship or the relationships before. So like I said, it's not that you have to be alone for the rest of your life, because I certainly don't want to be alone for the rest of my life. But I also want to be in a relationship with someone who I can grow with, someone that is at the same frequency as me, and we can help each other, So alone is when you're alone and you're in that space is when you're going to actually be able to see things for what they are, know what it is that you truly want and what you don't want. Because in that time and space, you're thinking about what went wrong in your life, the things that you went and experienced, and you either have the choice of letting that bring you down and keep you down, or looking at that stuff and saying, okay, Now I know what I can do, what I'm supposed to do differently. I know the changes that I need to make, within myself. I understand why I attract this person or that person, or this job or that job or this situation or that situation, right? It's in those moments when we can be with ourselves, when we get those answers, if we allow ourselves to let that stuff come up. Okay, because again, sometimes you're alone, and what you do is you'll distract yourself in another way, because the pain and the feeling of being alone hurts so much. But again, it's just something that you're holding on to, that you've been holding on to about yourself. And it's easier to just distract yourself than to let the pain come through. And this is where we create the blocks within ourselves, because we don't allow ourselves to heal what we need to heal. And on a conscious level, we're not even aware that we're doing that, right? Until we come to this time of awakening and awareness, and we start to understand and see it for what it truly is. So my loves, no, you're not being punished. You're not. But you're being shown those parts of yourself that you don't like. Those times in your life where you struggled and the fear took over. And at this point right now, those fears, those struggles, those obstacles, those challenges are coming back full force, quick. Because again, it is time to release those remnants of that part of us so that we don't carry it into the new cycle, into the new creation, into the new world, into your new life, period. All right, my loves? So no, just allow yourself to go through the healing. Allow yourself to do the work that you need to do. Don't fear being alone. It's just temporary. It's just for you to understand and learn who you are, who you truly are. And the only way you can do that is when you're in quiet, when you're in stillness, because all those answers will come to you. They'll become more clear for you when you're in that moment, when you're constantly being distracted with work and running from here to there. You're never going to get that moment of understanding, awareness, of knowing what you would like to see for yourself moving forward, or look back at the old to see what needs to be changed and start taking those steps to make those changes. So beautiful people, have an amazing Thanksgiving. I hope that you have a great time sharing and celebrating, and most importantly, showing gratitude and love, to be with your loved ones and to share that time with them. Enjoy it and have a wonderful time. I will talk to you soon. I might do another spread later. I'll see, because I feel like I want to go bake some pies. Get that done for tomorrow. So we'll see. If I feel guided to do it, I might do a love relationship spread. All right, beautiful people? Enjoy, and remember, it's not being done to you. It's being done for you. Just take a look at all of that stuff that's coming up. Acknowledge it. Allow yourself to sit with it. Allow it to show you what it needs to show you. And then start taking those baby steps to make those changes and to get to a place of awareness, understanding, clear perception, and making those little changes that are necessary for you to move forward into the new cycle. Have an amazing day, everyone, and an amazing holiday.